Do you want to grow a bigger upper chest? Calisthenics can be used effectively to target the upper pecs. Rings are the best kept secret for bodybuilding with bodyweight exercises. The decline push-up, pike push-up, reverse grip push-up, archer push-up, and chest fly using rings will be explained today. Hey everyone, Daniel Vadnal, physiotherapist here for FitnessFAQs. The chest muscles have two major heads, the sternal fibers and the clavicular fibers, aka upper pecs. The functions of the chest muscles include horizontal adduction of the humerus, internal rotation, as well as shoulder flexion. All of these will be included in today's effective exercises. Decline push-ups are the calisthenics equivalent of incline bench press at the gym. Now, to make the decline push-ups work the upper chest, we want to form a 30 to 45 degree angle with our body relative to the ground. When done correctly, decline push-ups are just a flipped upside down version of incline bench press. Thanks to our relative torso angle, we're able to bias the upper pecs when doing push-ups at a decline. Elevate the feet around 30 to 60 centimeters in order to bias the upper pecs. Always keep the body in a plank-like position, forming a straight, integrated unit. Hip sagging and arching the lower back is a common mistake. Changing the angle of the torso turns this into more of a horizontal push-up. This posture is a problem for decline push-ups. We've got incorrect body mechanics and we're not stressing the upper pecs. The converging motion of the hands during ring push-ups is where the magic happens. The rings allow us to fully stretch and squeeze the pecs, getting that adduction motion happening through range. It's like doing a dumbbell bench press, making use of the chest's real function. Pressing in the scapular plane is best for chest activation. By flaring the elbows out, our shoulders are abducting in line with the upper pec fibers. This makes the movement path match the muscle makeup. By flaring out, we have increased torque or force happening at the upper body, which means the chest has to work harder and is subject to a greater growth stimulus. Okay, but aren't ring push-ups dangerous or bad for your shoulders? By comparison to bench press, it can be argued that push-ups are actually healthier, because the scapula is free to move through full ROM, protraction to retraction, we're getting that serratus anterior working for healthy shoulder function. Ring push-ups are what's referred to as a self-limiting variation. You're getting more out of just your body weight alone. Ring push-ups are less systemically taxing for the CNS. There's a greater stimulus to fatigue ratio. Body weight alone means relative loads are higher, which is good for hypertrophy. The benefit of rings is body weight push-ups will be plenty challenging when using good technique. Even really strong folks only need a bit of extra weight added, making ring push-ups a good long-term option. If you don't have rings, shame on you, but you can use parallettes. Don't make the mistake of setting up your parallettes like this, because it encourages really flared elbows, which can cause shoulder impingement and pain. Instead, angle your parallettes so that you're pressing in the scapular plane while also getting that deficit range of motion. This is a decent option because we've still got the correct angled body targeting the upper pecs. But our hands are fixed, so we're not getting that converging motion of our hands like we do with rings. So get rings. Overhead pressing with pike push-ups is powerful for upper pecs. Although the pike push-up uses plenty of shoulders, anterior delts, it's still surprisingly good for upper chest with technique modification. Now, to target the upper pecs, you want to use a wider hand placement and flared elbows within the scapular plane. If the torso remains angled, our body will be at around 45 degrees, so the upper pecs will take a beating. If you want more chest from pike push-ups, simply angle your body like this. If you're using a close grip with tucked elbows, pike push-ups will be very heavy on the anterior delts. This is a more appropriate technique if the goal is shoulder strength for handstand push-ups. Keep in mind, as we fatigue during pike push-ups, the large chest muscles are doing most of the work during the final reps. Instead of being a pure overhead press in the vertical direction like with weights, pike push-ups in practice are like a high incline bench press and are good for pecs. Working pike push-ups at a deficit makes these better for chest. The greater stretch overloads the shoulder flexion motion, which we know is helpful for stressing the clavicular fibers of the upper pecs. Rings are a great option for the pike push-up. The hands moving freely allows a more flared technique for the pecs without annoying the shoulder joints. Expect your strength to drop around 20% with ring pike push-ups. That's how much harder instability is in the mix. The deficit with ring pike push-ups adds that all-important full ROM. Stretching the chest more will build more muscle compared to floor reps. Rings are perfect for resensitizing the pike push-up. This novel stimulus will be effective for hypertrophy, allowing you to tap into dormant gains. The reverse grip push-up is surprisingly good for the upper chest. Data suggests a reverse grip activates the upper chest more on bench press. By applying the bench press science to push-ups, it makes sense that a similar movement with a reverse grip targets the upper pecs too. We need to remember the clavicular fibers of the upper pecs orientate in a way which uses quite a lot of shoulder flexion. This happens when leaning forward on reverse grip push-ups, whereby the movement matches the muscle mechanics. The major advantage is it's joint friendly and allows pain-free pressing. With our shoulders externally rotated, the elbows are tucked, which has a lower risk of shoulder impingement. The reverse grip push-up overloads the upper chest and it keeps you growing without issues. What should you do if you have wrist pain? Spending a few minutes stretching the wrist in your warm-up will really go a long way. Simply doing the exercise will build resilient tissues and robust joints over time. Otherwise, use a neutral grip to give some more breathing room to the wrists. The reverse grip on the floor is probably enough to stress the upper pecs for most people, given the no compromise tucked elbow technique. Feel free to progress by elevating the hands and feet when ready. The deficit increases range of motion at the shoulders, and the decline posture targets more of the upper chest, as you now know. So are these bicep push-ups? Some home workout enthusiasts say this is useful for growing mass. Truth be told, you're not going to get an optimal overload of the bicep muscles for growth by doing push-ups. The goal with reverse grip push-ups is upper chest activity. A side benefit is the lockout conditions the bicep tendon, bicep stabilization increases, and straight arm strength. Progress to rings for more intense reverse grip push-ups. The deficit range of motion and lockout make things much harder. Be careful, as controlling the rings is no joke. The stretch and contraction on the biceps is intense. Please progress patiently because these are riskier but still rewarding. Single arm push-ups are perfect for upping the intensity on the pecs without weights. Control the movement and don't let it control you. Emphasize the eccentric on the way down. Use a full range of motion and keep going until you're close to failure. Unilateral difficulty is more challenging because you're pushing a greater percentage of body weight on each arm. The relative intensity going through one arm is much harder compared to two-arm push-ups. Ring archer push-ups are optimal for enhancing muscle symmetry. The benefit of doing single-arm exercise is each side works equally. We can't compensate with your dominant side like we do with bilateral two-arm push-ups. With archers, we have the benefit of the pec working on both the straight and bent arm. This is a win-win because the chest is being stressed in different ways during the one exercise. Ring archer push-ups are fatiguing and effective. You're going to fall in love with them for bodyweight bodybuilding. Chest flies are crazy for stretching the pecs to grow in a deep range of motion. Chest flies are a good substitute for dumbbell flies, cable flies, or machine flies at the gym. With ring flies, I recommend a more flared technique when compared to push-ups. The freedom of movement of rings should make this wide grip accommodating. However, always train with a technique and range of motion which suits your body first and foremost. Should you do chest flies with a bent or straight arm? Bent arms is safer on the tendons and preferable for bodybuilding. Given the goal is to grow the chest, bent elbows allows a nice stretch and contraction without the risk of a bicep tear. Both the deep position and contracted top stress the chest muscles. Make sure to always go down to your max safe stretch. Always finish every rep by squeezing the hands together. Kneeling flies are a good idea when first starting. Less weight is going through the upper body, making it possible for more reps with quality technique. Given flies are generally done at the end of a workout, kneeling is a pretty smart idea to get in more chest volume. Decline ring flies are more effective for the upper chest due to the angle of our torso because the movement matches the muscle fiber direction of the upper pecs. Get off the knees to make this harder if you're up for the challenge. Using a rep range of 8 to 20 is going to be best for flies. This is the sweet spot to make flies safe and effective when training with close proximity to failure. The pump from chest flies is unmatched. Because we're stretching and squeezing and using all of the functions of the chest, the pump will be peaking. The feeling of having your pecs engorged with blood never gets old. You just don't get this effect from push-ups. The pump from ring flies is a good proxy for bodybuilding success. It's a sign the target muscle has been stressed for progress. For isolating the chest with calisthenics, ring flies are gold. When used as a finisher at the end of a chest workout, they allow you to get some more pec homework for your bodybuilding goals. Here's why rings are so effective for bodybuilding. Training at a deficit with rings increases range of motion. This allows a greater stretch on the chest, which is effective for building muscle. Rings enhance the classic push-up through a larger pressing motion for larger gains. Because the rings move, we get unstable training. This allows pain-free workouts. We can safely flare our elbows more. This stresses the pecs while also sparing our joints. The greater stabilization required during ring pushing means the pecs work harder by comparison to stable floor push-ups. Exercise variety is the key to fully stimulating the chest. Decline push-ups, pike push-ups, flies, these all highlight how working different movement patterns is so powerful for pecs. Next, add weight with a vest or a backpack. You can make any bodyweight exercise more difficult by adding weight. This progressive overload method is foolproof and allows you to keep each exercise effective long term. Here's a secret to make rings even more effective. Set the straps wider apart. There's more resistance when bringing the hands together. This will ignite your chest and the pump will be next level. If you want a bigger chest, prioritize chest exercise at the start of your workout when most fresh. By beginning a workout with chest, you'll be able to give more effort and achieve better results as a byproduct. 10 to 20 sets of chest volume using today's exercises is a good amount of weekly training. Spreading your volume across 2 to 3 sessions is optimal for bodybuilding. This chest frequency means you're triggering muscle protein synthesis with a good ratio of work to rest. The optimal rep range for bodyweight bodybuilding is 8 to 20 reps, and it's a nice guideline to work from. The problem with low reps is the strength demands are too challenging, making it difficult to do enough volume due to fatigue. With high reps, technique generally turns to trash. Core fatigue, losing torso angle, cutting range of motion, etc. Most people lack chest development in general, not just the upper chest. Don't neglect your general compound exercises for overall chest mass. Dips and bench press are classics for building a bigger chest. We can't forget the basics. Tempo matters for building muscle. Moving slowly and pausing at the bottom is best practice for bodybuilding. Controlled negatives accentuate the eccentric, which is powerful for creating that muscle damage we need to grow. Effort is important for building muscle. We can't train with low intensity and expect to grow. We must make sure each set is taken close to muscular failure. Struggling to squeeze out the final rep or two is a good sign of training hard enough for hypertrophy. You're now armed with the most effective bodyweight exercises for the upper chest. They work if you work. That's it for today, guys. Enjoy those juicy pec gains from Calisthenics. And if you want to keep learning, watch another FitnessFAQs video. See you, legends. Thanks.